116 Karel Challenges. This is definitely the trickiest set of assignments you've seen so far. A lot of them require you to really think about what's going on, more so than to think about how to write the code, if that makes any sense. You have to kind of plan out what's going on and then write the story as methods and go from there. So let's take a look at the first couple. Maybe we'll keep going after that. What's going on here? Well, we need Karel to start here, grab the ball, go back down to where he's starting. So if you really think about it like a story, what are we doing? Go to ball, get rid of it, return with the ball, put on the floor. So that's some pseudocode for what's going on here. Why don't we think about the pseudocode for a second and then try to program it? So there's one of two ways you could really do this. You could write all the commands out, realize, wow, I've repeated a lot of my code, and then refactor it into methods. Or you can kind of, well, write the methods according to the story you just wrote. I'll try and show both. That might be challenging, but here we go. Now that I've actually written the code and it works, see, we've got it. It's time to actually refactor it. So it looks like we need to find what we've repeated, put that into methods, and write those as their own methods and use those instead of repeating our code. So what do we see? Well, we have a 4 times move. We have that twice. That's ugly. So let's get rid of that. Notice I put this here, so just in case you lose your place in your bracket sometime, I labeled the one that goes with run just so I can be aware because I knew it was going to get very long. I'm going to call it move 4 because what is it going to do? It's going to move 4 times. Well, that bracket didn't get moved over. We can collapse it because it's kind of obvious, at least I think it is, what move 4 does, but just in case you didn't see, we move 4 times. Okay. I lost my train of thought there, but just undid it. We're good. Okay. Okay, that reduced what we had by quite a bit. Now, what else repeats? Move, turn left, move 4, turn right. Move, turn left, move 4, turn right. What does that even do for us? Let's run it and see. Well, way too fast. Move, turn left, move 4, turn right, move. Puts us on the ball. Oh, we even have a move down here. And just so we're clear, we did the move, turn left, move 4, turn right, move. Here's what happens when we do it again. So first we turn around. We're starting to return home. Move, turn left, move 4, turn right, move. Okay, so would you say this moves us forward and back? So it kind of goes to the ball or away. It's our movement, I guess I'd say. Just trying to figure out how we can name it usefully. To go to ball or home. That's pretty descriptive. A little long, but it does say what we do. Move, turn left, move forward, turn right, move. And look, we kind of break it up. Take ball, put ball. Should have that capitalized. Let's fix it down there. That's what we had, right? Right. Boom. Well, do we have any more repeated code? I don't really see any more, so I think we're good to go. Let's run it and see what happens. Oops, extra semicolon. And I didn't fix that typo I said I would. Okay, so we've went from a long list of repeated commands to a list without. Now, hope that clears things up on how to write and refactor the first challenge. Let's take a look at how we would do this from a top-down perspective. So instead of writing all the commands then refactoring, we're just going to write all the commands in a story mode, let's say. Remember, we could try to write a story with our code. And then write the commands. So it's going to look a lot like what we have, but this we kind of wrote with hindsight. We saw that we repeated 6 or 7 commands, and we just reused them twice. So it's going to be very similar. We're not going to use this. We'll leave this because I think we're going to likely use it. Collapse it just to make ourselves easy, because we do have to move up and down 4 times, right? So here's kind of our story. So let's just write a method for each of them. We're going to move to the ball. We're going to take the ball. So we know that's probably just going to be taking the ball. We don't really know. We're going to go back because we want the dog to go back. And then put it on the floor. So we kind of only have 2 methods here. And then we're going to do a few other things. So here's my old commands. Goodbye to them. We're going to put a couple of commands around them. So we'll take a look at those later. Let's write the move to ball. Okay, and if we remember, we're moving, turning left, moving 4 times. And if we actually run that command, we'll see if we get to the ball or not. We just forgot our return type, which is what all these voids and stuff are. So we're going to add that. So the dog seems to get where we want. Now we need to take it and turn around and go back home. Let's do what we just did, see if that works. What capital? What capital were they talking about, folks? We messed up somewhere in there, so let's step back, just see what happens. So we turn around. Okay, take the ball, turn around. And what does our go back to? We wanted to turn left, didn't we? So we kind of wrote it just imagining what would happen. Now if we turn left and move 4, probably need to turn right again. And we'll move. Hey, wait a minute. This looks very similar. Well, we wrote it as a story. We wrote the methods we needed, and we kind of saw that these would repeat. So that might have been because of hindsight. We had already coded this, but you kind of get the idea how we're writing the story. So what do we need to do to kind of finish it up? He needs to put the ball and flip-flop. We got it. So don't forget we also kind of used this one and this one from Super Karel, and also this one. So we have a lot of methods here. These do repeat. Why do they repeat? They repeat because we wrote it as a story. So you might want to break it up. Maybe we move up. Maybe we jump up to the shelf. Make that one method. Depending on how you write your story. I think I kind of went up with the repeating commands because this is following me doing it with the refactoring method. But what are you going to do? Hopefully we get the idea on how to write it as a story, or to write and then refactor our code. I want to go through Super Cleanup Karel as well because I know that's been causing some people trouble in class. So I'll write in a little explainer. This one I think I want to write from the top down. If I were to write this, I would write this from the top down. What do I need to do? I need to clean each row, right? So I need a clean row method. And once I have this clean row method, I probably want to clean the next row. But consider this. If I were to move this way and clean this row this way, maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't if I cleaned it with Karel being upside down. So maybe I'll just have him go back to the start of the row and clean it again. You can kind of see I'm going to start writing repeating commands that kind of repeat for all of the different rows. So I'll probably write a for loop instead. But I think I should make sure that I can at least clean 2 with these methods and then write the for loop. That would kind of be a little bit more clear. At least to me it would. So I'm going to construct these methods really quick. Then I'm going to code with the sound off and speed it up a little bit, and then go back and explain all the logic that I use while I write it. So we have 2 private voids, 2 methods that don't return anything, they just do things. They clean the row, and then they go back to the start of the row. Okay, so I will code these real quick and then explain the logic. So now that I've written it, I'm going to do a little refactoring together with you. We can see that we've kind of repeated our code here, right? So why don't we immediately write a method? So you might recall from the if lesson that this was kind of our clean safely method. So let's call this safe clean. I'll give us a little bit of room to see. And what am I going to do? That code there. Does this look right? It does. So where do I have it? So you can of course pause it to go see what I had before, but now we kind of see, this is a little bit more readable. We clean the row. While the front of Karel is clear, we're going to move and we're going to clean. Why do I have this out here? Well, once I get to the end, if there's a ball there, it's not going to pick up that last ball. It'll pause and want to and it won't actually check it because the safe clean is outside the or is inside the loop and the front's not clear in that condition. Putting it out here will have it checked. So let's run, see what happens. Okay, we check safe clean after we move every step. Going a little faster. We get to the last one. Oop. Okay, so now while the front's clear, we move, take that last ball. This time the front's not clear, so we jump to this safe clean, clean it up. Okay, so that's a little refactoring. Now this is a lot smoother, a lot clearer. We kind of get the idea with safe clean, right? This kind of takes the ball, if there's one, without failing instead and crashing. So we can keep that closed for now. Let's go back to coding. Now that we've written the clean row and the go back method, and it seems to work how we want, we clean the row, we run to the end of the row, and we get back to the start, clean it again. We could just write a loop that would loop these two commands and hopefully get us to the end. So let's do that right now together. You know, I never really considered, what do the other worlds look like? Oh, we have only one row. So we're going to do this. How can we do this? Well, it's hard to think about, but what would we do to check to see if there's a row above it? Do you remember from one of the other videos? Yeah, we kind of have another command we could use, another command that returns a value, another condition that might help us. Remember when he was climbing, we checked to see if Karel was open on his left. Left is clear. And that's his top side, is where Karel's ears are once he's done cleaning the row. So I'm going to get rid of this broken for loop. We're going to clear just one row and go back to the start and see what Karel looks like. Okay, so if there's a row above to be clear, then the left is clear, right? Let's write a while loop. My brackets, this code should be indented. And let's see what happens. Okay, so somehow we missed two balls because we didn't get that last row, huh? Okay, so we should probably have him clean the last row, this method here, and then where does he need to return? He needs to return to the bottom left corner facing down. So does that work? Boom. Nice job, you got it. That's strange. Shouldn't Karel be here? Tips. Karel can end up at any spot facing any direction so long as the world is clear. So maybe our picture results aren't always clear because we can really wind up anywhere we want at the end, right? But if we look at our requirements, Karel can end up in any spot. So we're actually kind of done. We just needed to clear that last row. So what else could we really do with this code? I'd say it works. Submit and continue. Go ahead. But I think we could try one more thing. So if you're looking at the code of these two methods, what do you notice? clean row has save clean in its while front is clear move. Could we maybe like skip a step? It might be hard, but let's try it. Let's throw in the save clean. Get rid of our while loop and see if we can maybe refactor this code. To solve that last error we had where it was going on every row twice, well, we went to our go back up and we had him just turn right at the end so he would then move up. So let's run that. Looks good. What do we have to do to fix this after this? Well, if we hit submit and continue, we see cleanup 2 and cleanup 3 don't work. So let's take a look at what's going on there. Okay, different world. Much different world. If we look at our other ones, it works on this one, huh? It sure does. It works on this very big one too, huh? I bet you if we counted this would be even. We know this is even because it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other ones are odd, and that's what we're having our weird issues on. So, what's the problem? Well, we wind up at one more row not to clean after we terminate it down here. But we're ready to clean that last row. Before I type that in, let's make sure it also showed up on this one. Ready to clear that last row. Or do I just throw in one more clean row? It works. Does it mess up any other ones? Well, it doubles up, but hey, we're working on even and odd worlds now, so I think we are pretty well solved on this problem. That's where I'd leave it. I'd say if you got the first solution where it did double up on the rows, that's perfectly fine. Scrolling the code so you can see it all. I'll also shrink it down. We should know our save clean, so I will shrink her up too. Okay, hopefully this cleared up this super cleanup Karel challenge for everybody.